めちゃくちゃクソうめえ。調理法は普通、食材だって変わんねえ。なのになんでこんなに味が不けんだ。クソうめえ。
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Vinsmoke T Sanji, and today we're gonna mix it up a little bit. We're back with another round of the One Piece WAP, but this time we'll be discussing why I think Sanji should develop Conqueror's Haki and the implications and ways that it would serve his personal narrative and character development. There will be spoilers, so view at your own peril. A name synonymous with evil and their mythical army, the Vinsmokes and the German Double Six. At one time, a vast empire spanning the entirety of the North Blue, the German kingdom has fallen from glory and become a countryless kingdom. Roaming the ocean with no land to call their own, the patriarch of the Vinsmoke family, Vinsmoke Judge, sought to restore the former glory of the German kingdom. A lifelong scientist, Judge combined all of his knowledge of genetic manipulation and weapons development to create the world's first modified humans, his own children. Judge's firstborn child, Reiju Vinsmoke, was genetically engineered to possess superhuman strength, enhanced durability, and an extremely durable exoskeleton, among other physical traits. 3 years later, Judge took this application a step further: genetic manipulation of his unborn quadruplet sons. By altering their genes during the embryonic stage, Judge would not only be able to give his sons enhanced strength and exoskeletons, he would also strip them of their ability to feel compassion and any form of sympathy or empathy towards other people. He would also take away their fear of injury and death, with the overall goal of establishing ruthless killing machines as the commanders of the Vinsmoke army, obedient only to him. Judge's wife, Sora, was vehemently opposed to the modifications that Judge planned. To her, nothing was worth the cost of her children losing their humanity. Despite her wishes, Judge forced the modifications on their unborn children. As a last-ditch effort, Sora took a drug designed to prevent the modifications from taking root. Unfortunately, the drug was not completely effective. The genetic modifications were successful in 3 of her 4 sons. The only child to be born completely human was the 3rd son, Sanji. Compared to his elder brothers and sister, his physical capabilities were completely inferior. At the same time, Sanji showed a capacity for kindness and a love for the world around him, which Judge strongly disapproved of. Judge's disdain for his son was further compounded by the fact that Sanji loved cooking, which Judge considered to be completely beneath royalty. The only member of his family that treated Sanji with any kindness and love was his mother, Sora, who became terminally ill after taking the drug that saved Sanji's humanity. After the death of Sora, Judge lost almost any of his remaining compassion for Sanji. Judge knowingly allowed his other sons to frequently beat Sanji within an inch of his life and eventually imprisoned Sanji like an animal, declaring him dead to the German kingdom. Even while imprisoned, Judge continued to allow his other sons to mercilessly torment Sanji. And if it wasn't for Reiju, Sanji would probably have been eventually beaten to death. During one of the Germa's military campaigns, Sanji and Reiju realize that this is the perfect chance for Sanji to escape. Reiju uses her superhuman strength to bust Sanji out of jail, and Sanji almost makes it out of the castle undetected, until he runs smack dab into his father. And it's here that Judge reveals his true feelings. He wanted to kill Sanji for being an experimental failure, but could never bring himself to do it. To Judge, Sanji leaving was the perfect opportunity. He was certain that Sanji would die at sea, relieving him of the burden of having a failure of a son and cementing himself as honestly just the fucking worst biological father in the One Piece series. Judge tells Sanji to never let anyone know his true identity as a Vinsmoke and allows him to leave. And if Sanji had become a bitter, hateful human being, I wouldn't have blamed him. Sanji to this day refuses to ever let someone go hungry, even when they threaten his life. Sanji's capacity for kindness is most clearly recognized by his closest friends. His kindness is frequently acknowledged by the members of the Straw Hat Pirates, with some members even saying that his kindness extends to the point that he would rather sacrifice himself than let his friends die. Later in the series, when Judge finds out that Sanji is alive and well as an adult, Judge conspires with Big Mom to arrange a political marriage between their families, with Sanji as the sacrificial groom. When Big Mom and Germa Double Six threaten to kill Sanji's adoptive father Zeph, as well as all of the Straw Hats, Sanji decides that it's time to accept his fate and sacrifice himself for the only people in his life that have shown him true kindness. He'd rather die than let harm come to those closest to him. Sanji even admits to Luffy that despite how horrible his family had been to him, even then he's still not willing to just let them die. Something we have to consider is whether or not Sanji has the potential to awaken Conqueror's Haki. When the Big Mom Pirates hold the wedding ceremony with the Vinsmokes, it's revealed that the Big Mom Pirates plan to murder the Vinsmokes and seize their entire kingdom. In this life or death situation, none of the genetically modified sons of Judge care that they're about to die. Hell, they think it's funny. Judge couldn't believe his sons didn't care about death and were just ready to bend over and grab their ankles and take it. They gained power, but what did it cost? Something I've considered rewatching this scene is that any of the Vinsmokes could have broken out of this situation if they had Conqueror's Haki, which is the ultimate manifestation of willpower in the One Piece universe. It's said that only 1 in a million people can awaken this form of willpower, which basically allows the user to intimidate people with weak willpower into submissiveness, or just knock them out. Certainly, with his skills of genetic manipulation, Judge could have given Conqueror's Haki to his sons, if he knew how. The fact that red, blue, and green here acknowledged being checkmated tells me that they can't use Conqueror's Haki, which you'd think the commanders and potential future rulers of the German kingdom would be able to use. Judge either couldn't give them Conqueror's Haki or refused to, maybe not wanting his sons to be able to overpower him. Sanji's brothers may not have Conqueror's Haki, but we've been told that humans still have a 1 in a million chance to randomly awaken this ability. Treble lets us know that people with Conqueror's Haki have the qualities to be kings. Now, he may just be slobbing on Doflamingo's knob here, but the qualities of a king are not explicitly defined. And if we look at all of the different type of people with Conquerors in the series, you've got a wide variety of personality types. Silver's Rayleigh and Luffy are similar in that they're laid back most of the time, serious when they need to be, but generally friendly. Doflamingo and Kaido are straight up tyrants, subjugating the people living beneath them. Katakuri is extremely serious, refusing to let any person witness even a moment of weakness in him. Sengoku is an admiral that firmly believes in law and order, and Shanks is honestly still kind of a mystery. My point is, all of the characters that we're told have Conquerors are unique, with completely different approaches to life. The only thing they all have in common is that at least at some point in their life, they were ridiculously strong. Maybe not Yonko or Admiral level, but respectably strong. Our next question is this: can the defining trait of a king be their kindness towards other people? As a stark contrast to the Vinsmokes, we've seen benevolent, kind kings in One Piece. Rikudoldo III, king of Dressrosa, kind and beloved by his subjects. Nefertari Cobra, king of Alabasta, kind and beloved by his subjects. King Neptune's family, Fishman Island, kind and beloved by their subjects. The problem is that they're all weak, and were taken advantage of by those with strength. Their kingdoms were either almost taken over or successfully taken from them. The main difference I'm looking at here is that unlike Cobra or Riku or King Neptune, is that Sanji isn't weak. His performance has been inconsistent at times, but we've seen inconsistency with all of the members of the Straw Hat crew. Luffy got tossed around by Rob Lucci like a ragdoll in Water 7, only for Luffy to come back not even 24 hours later and smack the bitch out of Def Leppard. What we have consistently seen is Sanji square up against the second or third strongest member of any squad that the Straw Hats face and come out victorious. We've also seen that he can use armament and observation haki. Recent highlights include Sanji smacking the bitch out of his genetically modified brother Yonji, making Diaz, Drake, and Basil Hawkins look stupid in a bathhouse. Let's not forget his 1v1 scraps with Page 1 and Drake. Sanji kicked the fucking shit out of them. I mean, he even turned Queen into a rotisserie dinosaur. And he's squaring up against Queen in like a 1v1 right now. These are all some of the strongest members of the Yonko Kaido's crew. But the focus of Sanji's character has always been about him finding the All Blue, becoming a world-class chef, and his kindness towards others. The main focus has never been about the development of his fighting capabilities. The growth of his strength has always been a supplement to his dreams and to make sure he's strong enough to protect his friends. I don't want Sanji to get Conqueror's Haki for the sole reason that it'll make him stronger. If Sanji were to get Conqueror's Haki, I would want it to have thematic, narrative meaning that adds to his character growth. And I see a unique way for it to do just that. The story of Sanji and the Vinsmokes probably isn't complete yet. We know the Germa Kingdom is coming back at some point, as enemies of the world government, potential allies to Luffy in whatever the final war is in One Piece. It's hard to say. There's also the mystery of MADS, whatever effect the raid suit is having on Sanji right now. We're still not even entirely sure what happened to the Vinsmokes or the Germa Kingdom after Whole Cake Island, but I'm willing to bet money that the Vinsmokes will return to the series at some point. Hell, I'll double down and say that we'll get a one-time only team-up where Sanji activates his raid suit along the rest of his biological family. The last time we saw Judge, he was licking his wounds from the ass-beating Big Mom handed to him. Now Judge has to take the time and marinate on his life choices, where he went wrong, the fact that his own children didn't care about dying, the fact that the only reason he's even alive is because the son that he abused was too kind to let him die, the son that Judge considers a failure and the complete opposite of a monarch. What if by the time Judge sees Sanji again, Sanji has awakened Conqueror's Haki? Sanji would become Vinsmoke Judge's greatest failure. Everything Judge desired but failed to turn his other sons into, a king fit to rule nations. Judge would be forced to witness and confront this truth. And it gives Judge one last shot at some kind of redemption. There's no forgiving the way he's treated Sanji, but you could give Judge the opportunity to say, sheesh, Sora was right, I was wrong, the proof is in the pudding, I never should have treated you that way, and above all else, I'm sorry. Judge began to do that when he commanded the German Double Six to escort the Straw Hats safely out of Whole Cake Island. At the time, it was so that they wouldn't be in the debt of the Straw Hats, but it's a start, and we could take it one step further. By no means does Sanji need the approval, acceptance, or acknowledgement of Judge. If Sanji were to grow stronger than all of the members of his family, and Judge were to see Sora's will carried on in Sanji, this would completely upend Judge's view on reality. When Sora died, we saw Judge explicitly tell Sanji that there's nothing to be gained by continuing the legacy of a dead person. In the eyes of Judge, strength is all that matters, and strength is not obtained through kindness or compassion. It would be karmic retribution for Judge's scientific prowess and ideologies to amount to, honestly, jack fucking shit, while Sanji's compassion and empathy for his friends leads him to Conqueror's Haki, a willpower exclusive to those with the qualities to become king. In Sanji's case, a kind king, the antithesis of Judge and everything he tried to create.